Hello everyone, Raf here from B&C Camera. One of the more popular and obvious genres of photography is landscape photography. They offer beautiful decor in home and or workplaces and are easy to capture. This style is also fairly simple because you don't necessarily need any special gear besides a tripod. Are you or someone close considering jumping into the world of photography through this genre? In this episode, we'll be helping you with the ideal settings to help you get started in that venture. Before jumping right in, if you could subscribe to the channel, it would help us out immensely. And at the end, if you found this little guide helpful, giving it a like would mean the most to us working behind the scenes to help make this educational videos happen for you. Without further ado, let's get back into it. Recommended landscape photography settings. These settings are a great starting point. Remember, you should still experiment with your settings. Each camera works differently and will give you a different look. Every situation is unique. That is another reason why experimenting and fine-tuning these settings will ensure the best photograph. Here is a basic general rule of thumb listing of settings for landscapes during the day. Exposure mode. Always shoot in manual. Drive mode. Use single shot if you have a camera remote. Aperture, you're going to want it around the f/16 ballpark to ensure sharpness of every detail in your frame. ISO. You're going to want it around 50 to 100 depending on the time of day. Same rules are going to apply with shutter speed, and that ideally 1/125th of a second and up is going to be the best setting depending on the time of day. Lastly, when it comes to white balance, it's also going to vary depending on the time of day as well too. Keep a few things in mind with the recommended settings above. It would help if you were using a tripod, and it's typically ideal to use a camera remote. If you don't have access to a remote, most camera systems will offer a timer system. Doing this will eliminate any shakiness from your hand hitting the shutter release if you're utilizing a slow shutter speed. And as previously mentioned, your shutter speed will vary depending on the time of day, but also the style you're wanting to approach. If, for example, you're looking to capture clear and crisp shots of your landscape, keep it at the earlier aforementioned settings of 1/125th of a second. If the image is still a bit overexposed, meaning that it's too bright, dial up either your shutter speed or aperture to darken and balance things out. If you have things in motion in your frame, like say for example a waterfall, and would like to really emphasize the waterfall in its motion, slowing your shutter speed to around 1/25th of a second and lower will result in that cascading, runny look. Again, it's going to be a lot of trial and error, so play around with those settings until you get the right shot. Now, most mirrorless and DSLR cameras will have a few white balance settings. You can also use your auto white balance setting to let your camera decide what works best. This is a safe choice but isn't ideal. Ultimately, whatever camera setting you choose will depend on the lighting condition. Sunrises and sunsets will need something different compared to a daytime waterfall scene. Each scene will have a completely different lighting situation to consider, so keep that in mind. Alrighty, let's briefly discuss depth of field. Your depth of field plays an integral part in landscape photography, and getting a deep depth of field will guarantee having your scene in focus. When you use a wide-angle lens with a small aperture and focus around the center, you will get a desirable depth of field. Okay, would you like a fast little secret to capturing landscapes? Crank that mode dial over to Aperture Priority mode. Another option is to shoot in Aperture Priority mode. Doing this will allow you to only control your aperture, and the camera will choose the shutter speed that's optimal for the scenery. Although shooting in manual mode is ideal, this will help when you're short on time, and you wouldn't be wasting your time fiddling with the different settings. Don't ever feel discouraged or that you're not legit with shooting in any automatic mode setting. This is a great way for you to figure out the best settings when you decide to bounce back into manual mode. You can always take the settings from any automatic setting and reverse engineer those settings to really dial in the look of your photograph, which is what I've always done. Again, discussing the topic within the time of day, sunrise and sunset landscapes are different. So far in the guide, most of what we had discussed will be for midday shoots when the sun is fairly high in the sky. You will need to consider the colors and lighting during sunrise and sunset. These landscapes can be tricky compared to others because of the lighting conditions. Now, we did do a video covering golden hour photography, so be sure to check that one out once you're wrapped up with this video. And speaking of wrapping up, that basically covers all the ground essentials when it comes to landscape photography settings. Just remember to have some fun and take in the scenes while you can in between. For me, getting out there really helps clear up my head and helps me get a better perspective on things, which translates over to my photography and video work. So get out there, snap some shots, and blaze a trail for yourself. And once again, this is Raf from B&C Camera. Thanks for tuning in.